Hey guys, it's Walker Dybel, author of Buy Then Build, creator of the Acquisition Lab. And today, what we're going to talk about is should you be conducting your search on a part-time or a full-time basis? And of course, there's never going to be any total right answer to this because all results are kind of anecdotal in these sort of opaque and fragmented marketplace in which we party in. But let me kind of give you some frameworks that you can start thinking about what is right for you and when might be the right time to move into a full-time search. So, first of all, I want to say that the first business that I was able to acquire, I actually was able to do that while conducting a part-time search. And the second business that I acquired, I did while on a full-time search. And from there, a sort of flywheel kind of picked up. And I want to be clear, my full-time search was very short in nature because we were sort of shutting down a startup. And so you could say I was working full-time, but I was really searching full-time while also kind of trying to sell off the assets of the startup. So the point is look, I mean, there's obviously the whole like elephant in the room in terms of search funds, okay? If you've already decided that a search fund is for you and you want to kind of go that sponsored search route, then you have no option. You have to be a full-time searcher, okay? Because what the investors are actually buying, in my opinion, is actually your time for 2 years running a search, right? But for everyone else, okay, for everyone who is a self-funded searcher or just an acquisition entrepreneur or someone trying to figure out like should I leave my job and find a business to acquire, it's a complicated question, especially because you might have golden handcuffs in terms of a high-paying job and insurance and health benefits and all these other things. So let's start by this. The thing is that you have to ask yourself, what is part-time versus full-time? And the thing is that, like, if you are searching full-time, all right, then the thing is that using the 80-20 rule, okay, 80% of your time is typically spent on what I'm going to call proprietary deal flow. So this is you going out trying to find deals that aren't coming to you with brokers or whatever. Okay, then you've got say 20% of that time doing broker outreach. I'm not sure why I put an S there. I'm not sure what I was thinking. So the point is you're doing 80% of your time is spent on proprietary deal flow. 20% of your time is spent on let's just say looking and evaluating deals that come from brokers, M&A advisors, etc. Okay, that's what your search is mostly doing. Okay, now when I look at people who run full-time searches, okay, I have no statistical data on this whatsoever. They all would agree with this, but we did an excellent interview in the Acquisition Lab recently with a searcher who said if I did it again, I would focus only on broker outreach because this is a racket. Reaching out to brokers and building relationships with brokers is kind of like a one-to-many, whereas proprietary, these deals, they take forever, right? I can even tell you that I've spent years with potential sellers on deals that I wanted to buy that was ultimately unable to convince them to sell, or they always overvalue their business or whatever, and ultimately when they're ready to go, what do? Well, they go to a broker to get a valuation and learn about the process and think about how do I get smart about actually exiting my business. Okay, so the thing is when you look at that, you can start to say to yourself, well, okay, if I can get this 20% of my time and just eliminate proprietary deal flow and focus on broker outreach, then that might be a good way to do it. And I think that's good groundwork. Okay, but here's the other thing. What I want to tell you is that the world, if you didn't know, kind of operates on a, let's just call it, 8:30 to 5 schedule, okay? And so the thing is during those hours of 8:30 to 5, deals hit, okay? Now, we all, first-time searchers kind of might have this myth that, okay, I'm gonna run out, I'm gonna get deal flow, and man, every single day, I'm just gonna be like getting a deal to look at and like getting all this stuff. Well, sure, you can fill your time. You can always fill your time. But when it comes time to look at deals that might actually be a fit for you, they don't happen like this, right? Imagine this is a timeline of, you over 2 years, okay? You might go, 6 months, find that first deal, okay? Then, some time passes and, there's two right sort of next to each other. And then, one sort of way out here, okay, kind of a thing, all right? Here's the thing. CEOs, brokers, attorneys, okay? Everyone's available in this time. So if you are saying to yourself, I'm going to search part-time, and part-time means after 5 p.m., you're going to have a hard time. That's just the bottom line. I work as a broker as well, and so a lot of times our deals always go out at 1 p.m. Central. We just had one of my listings. We launched it on Monday, and by Thursday I was shutting down the listing because we already had 17 calls with potential buyers. Okay, so here's the point. The point is that the people that were available at 1 p.m. Central to be able to open, evaluate a deal, and then reach out, they can be working a full-time job or not. I don't know if they're full-time or part-time or whatever, but the point is they're available during the hours that deals are happening. If you're working part-time and you're not available when deals are happening, this is going to start to shut down, okay? You will miss deals, okay? You're just going to miss them. And so you're going to start to limit the amount of deals that can actually come to you. Keep in mind, all of this is kind of a flywheel, and so over time it starts to build, right? Now, if you are familiar with some of our stuff, materials that Buy Then Build, or you saw the little crash course that we put together on how to buy a business, then you'll know that we've got 5 steps, 5 easy steps at the highest macro level, and we call that CPSAB. Just kidding, I've never said that, but it's commitment, okay, preparation, search, acquisition phase, and build, okay? And so, acquisition phase has all these sort of learning curves, and it's after you already have a deal, and building is what you do, after close when you're building. Now, coming all the way back here, if you do the, commitment and prep work, you're actually doing the little things that make the big difference in your entire search process, okay? And these things can happen on a part-time basis, okay? The first phase of commitment is simply understanding the business model, okay? 90% of people that run out to buy a business never actually buy one. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And I think that a lot of times it's, people are out looking at deals and they don't know what they're looking, the business that they're looking for might bite them in the leg and they wouldn't actually know it, right? Because there's a lot going on. There's what we call the CPSAB curve. You have to get to a point of inflection before you're actually able to even close on a deal, okay? And the first step in that is to get confident and get committed to to doing this, to building your business. Because your job as the CEO, the first job you have is to actually find your company to be the CEO of. No one's gonna do that for you. And no one is gonna get you confident, okay, other than you and yourself. And a lot of times we look into, our spreadsheets and try to build confidence and assurance into that, when at the end of the day, this is entrepreneurship and it's all about what you are gonna do with it. And so getting confident with the models, getting confident around the type of opportunity that you're looking at, and understanding the different ways that companies grow and really what the risks are, okay? Because there's a lot of risk to this as well, is sort of the first step. Preparation or sort of going through the prep funnel and starting to understand not only the model and committing to running this process, but then also doing the prep work to get prepared in terms of, what are you actually looking for? What size are you looking for? What industry are you looking for? What do you want to do with your time? What are your goals? All of those things are going to give you focus and help you identify, in this example, these sort of 4 that pop versus, kind of all of the noise that's going to be happening while you're out here, okay? And by the way, this is an unregulated industry, and I'll say it, most brokers out there do not do a good job, okay? They just don't. So you are gonna have to, by doing this, you're actually able to look at all of this noise and actually identify the one that is a fit that should be considered for you, okay? And so being able to go through these steps are the things that are going to get you prepared in order to move into a full-time search. So going full-time before you do this, I think, is a mistake, because this can be done, you know? Look, join the acquisition lab. That's what it's for, you know, is to go through and get ready for all of this. Once you start a search phase, you go through, like we call the Sabri curve up here. There's certain things that you need to do before you actually get to that point of inflection where you're actually ready to close on a deal, okay? And so, you know if you're actually ready to close on a deal or not, right? So the thing is that you can comfortably do a lot of this before you move to a full-time search. And I do believe that if you do this properly and you move with conviction and commitment, you can buy a business in 6 months, okay? You can get that done. But you got to do the early work to get that done. So, you know, I think that here's the question: full-time or part-time search? You know, again, there's no right answer, but the thing is that there's a lot you can do before you make that decision, and in getting smart about all of the early stages, the opportunities, the business model, opportunity profiles, the business model, you know, even building your team together, right? If you want to buy a business in the next 12 months, feel free to join the Acquisition Lab. We've put together a world-class program with ongoing coaching to sort of help you look at deals over time, and world-class program, and sort of do it with you buy-side advisory. So you kind of save 6 figures in buy-side advisor fees just by going through the lab. So check it out at acquisitionlab.com. Hope this was helpful. And again, I think the bottom line that I'm trying to get to is do this work before you jump, and you can actually get yourself to a position where you will only have to search for 6 months rather than 24 if you do this work, and obviously don't go another route like a search fund or something like that. So thanks a lot. Walker Dybel, author of Buy Then Build. See you next time.